Hello, welcome to the Heart Wisdom Podcast with Ralph Macintyre, where we explore the wisdom that comes through the open, connected heart. Today I want to talk about radical ownership and the freedom that it gives you by owning your experience. This is kind of a 3D, 5D concept. In the 3D, we're stuck in the world. We're stuck in the reaction to the world. In the 5D, we have the freedom of what's truly possible. And one of the ways to get out of the stuckness of the 3D is radical ownership of your experience. It's taking responsibility of what's going on in your life rather than blaming it out on the world. Oh, this person did this person did that, this experience that, rather than putting it off on someone else, taking it back and saying, okay, so why did I manifest? What did I need to bring this into my life? What am I here to learn from this thing? And so there's a difference between ownership and responsibility and control. And that's where most people get kind of confused. So when you own it, when you take responsibility of it, you're looking for the lesson in it. When you try to take control of it, you're thinking you have control, and it's not necessarily that simple, because a lot of times there's karmic implications. You got to understand from the karmic perspective, from the 5D perspective, this physical world is just an avatar for things that we're working on in the spirit world. And so by opening up the heart, connecting into that kind of inspirational, energizing bunny that is available once your heart's open and connected, and working on how you're projecting into the future. And what I mean by this is by looking at how you, so to speak, paint the road in front of you with your beliefs, the subconscious beliefs, and how those get projected into the future. Yeah, the unconscious habit patterns or thought patterns and how they affect your life is so key to understanding this. We live in an abundant world that wants us to prosper and thrive, wants things to be relatively easy. And so much of what we experience in life is controlled by what we feel like we deserve. And so the more you can feel like you deserve in life, the more you can allow yourself to manifest and create. And so the trick here is by truly understanding how much control you have over your experience, really allows you to be free by seeing the perfection in the moment, really can help set you free. So like, let's say for instance, you're getting ready to go somewhere and you're feeling like you're running late or you're anticipating being late. Rather than thinking you're going to be late, it's like tuning into the perfection of the moment, the perfection of the timing. And sometimes you're late, but a lot of times even when you are late, you're supposed to be late. But what happens is if you have this belief system that you run late all the time, then you set yourself up to be late. So rather than projecting being late, you can change your belief system to feeling in tune with the divine timing and never being late. Or here's another example. Let's say you're getting ready to get on the freeway and someone cuts you off or something like that. Rather than looking at it like this loss or this issue, or it's like, why'd you do this? See it from another perspective. Maybe it's your guardian angels needing you to slow down a little. Maybe the universe wants to put you in a different timeline. That person didn't cut you off, but slowed you down so that your guardian angels can protect you into the future. The more you take every experience in your life and see the perfection of it rather than the issue in it, really can free you. And so there's that aspect of it, but the one that's really the most difficult, or it's not so much it's difficult, it just tends to take a little more effort. And that is understanding how the subconscious is kind of affecting your life in the moment and in the future. So you have all these thoughts and belief systems from childhood, depending on what they are. I was diagnosed dyslexic. So as a kid, I was told that I was stupid. So I can sometimes put myself into situations, especially around writing, where I make it so difficult to write because I don't feel like I can write. And so rather than being able to just allow the writing to come through, my mind is like, oh, you can't write, you can't write, you can't write. And then, of course, I have this difficult time writing. But when I let go of that, when I just sit there and allow the raw energy, that inspiration, open my heart up and connect into what I'm going to call the 5D of possibilities, it kind of unlocks the freedom of what's truly possible. Because so much of our life is controlled by these negative thought patterns that are running in the subconscious. And the more you do the shadow work, the more you do. I like a lot of affirmations and clearing. I do a lot of clearing meditations on this particular subject to help people kind of break free of this. Then you allow what's truly possible to unfold. And the abundance of the universe comes in. So a big one for me is working on what I deserve, clearing the obstacles of deserving by asking the subconscious. So it's like, what is keeping me from feeling like I deserve the abundance of the universe? Then I clear and transmute it across all time, space, dimensions, and realities. And so you can try just looping that. You sit in a meditative state and you just kind of loop it. And it's not like you're asking the question to be answered in the conscious mind. Remember, the physical world is an avatar for the spirit world. The karmic aspect of life is beyond our understanding. It will not fit into the constructs of the physical world. And so by asking the subconscious the question, what is keeping me from feeling like I deserve? The subconscious will pinpoint that in the 5D. And then once it's pinpointed, you can clear it and transmute it across all time, space, dimensions, and realities. Apologize, the train is making a lot of noise tonight. I guess we needed to hear some train sound to kind of help make that heart open up to the power of the moving energy of the train. So the more we take radical ownership, the more we set ourselves free in this life. So, and words can be very, very powerful. So if you kind of take the experience you have and twist the words you use to describe it. So rather than having a negative issue, having a guidance or insight, it's like, oh, I'm having such a hard time. Oh, I'm being guided in a particular direction. See, by changing it slightly, you can use that same experience to help you stay more present, stay more connected to the heart, stay more engaged in the wonderfulness of the present moment. Rather than thinking it needs to be what it's not, allowing it to be what it is. And that's the key, really. It's allowing the present moment to be spectacular and beautiful however it shows up. Because the more you do that, the more you set yourself free. I find doing the subconscious work on the deserving, allowing yourself to let go of many of those blocks. Really, the more you do that, the more your life unfolds in a more authentic way. The more you're kind of not painting yourself down this familial road of struggle and issues. The more you allow the universe to provide the beauty, the wonder, the excitement, the more you can stay present to your heart and be open to what it's bringing through in the moment. And that's what I really call that energizing of the inspiration, that energy, because when your heart's open and inspired, you have almost an abundance of energy that allows you to do remarkable things. And so much of that is shut down by ourselves, and we project it onto other circumstances. Like right now, the COVID situation in the United States and the world is a great thing that people project. It's like, oh, the government shut me down. I don't have a job. I don't have money, all these things. And it's like, no. So why do I need to bring this into my life? What is it here to teach me? The more you take radical ownership of it, the more you set yourself free, the more you can release the subconscious. Because so much of what's going on in your life is the subconscious. The way I like to describe it, if you want to know what's going on in your subconscious, just look at your current life. Any struggles, any issues are most likely projections from the subconscious mind. Either that or their karma that needs to be cleared. So it's like either a projection of the subconscious mind or karma that needs to be cleared to free yourself in the future, in future lives. And the more you can understand that, the more you get that freedom of the beautiful lesson of the moment. Because the more you see it as a beautiful lesson, the more you can use the information to do what you want to do with it rather than being a victim. All right, well, thank you so much for listening to this podcast. I will be trying to do at least weekly, if not more often than that, talking about opening up and connecting to that inspired, energizing heart. All right, thank you so much. This is Ralph Macintyre with Heart Wisdom Podcast. Thank you.